Good evening and welcome back to the mid-match show. Welcome, Paras. We saw some fireworks. 37 scored of the
Yeah.
last over, and some, you know, talwar bazi by Sir Ravindra Jadeja. What are your
Oh
thoughts
yes.
on that blistering innings? 62 of 28 balls. Paras.
We'll start with Harshal Patel first. About him, we've always spoken about him being in a very good wicket-taking form, but not in the best economical point of view from the bowler's aspect. So he was taken to the cleaners. Ravindra Jadeja is a fearless cricketer. He's done a very, very good job in the international circuit since the past 7 years. And he's come to his own. He's a proper all-rounder now, can play in any conditions. That's what we've seen when he plays for
Yes.
India. And, he's a very integral part of CSK. Dhoni is never going to let him go till the time Dhoni is there as captain or as a player. And he's shown Harshal Patel, what it feels to do a Yuvraj on someone.
It's really, heartbreaking for an RCB fan because
Yeah.
Harshal Patel bowled really well. The first 3 overs he
Yeah.
gave away 14 runs and then take it to the cleaners in the last over. It's such a leveler this game. At one day you're on top of, you feel like you're on cloud nine, and next day you're bang down in hell. What are your thoughts on Harshal Patel and how he needs to gather his thoughts and come back stronger? What would be his thinking after this game?
Irrespective of you winning or losing, you need to perform the next time you step out on the field. And whatever you've done in the past will mentally guide you, but on a given day, it's make or break. Harshal Patel
Yep.
bowled very well with the first three in the first 3 overs. In the last over, I think it was a basic strategy with a deep mid wicket, long on, long off, and the third man being up and the deep cover being there. So the lengths that he wanted to bowl weren't there, and that's the capitalization where Jadeja comes forward, and his mid wicket region and cow corner, as we suggest, is very very strong. So he played
Absolutely.
according to his strength, and henceforth the lightning at the end.
Some crazy fireworks in the day. And Harshal Patel didn't bowl a lot of slower ones. Just the first ball
Mhm.
was a slower one. Other than that, all the balls that I saw were quick ones, seam up, and one of them was a
Uh-huh.
beamer as well, which went for six.
Yeah.
So a lot to think about for him personally and for RCB as well. But quickly moving on, a great start for Chennai Super Kings. Sorry,
Yes.
and Ruturaj Gaikwad has come back in form after the last game he played really really well, and
Yes.
Faf du Plessis, a brilliant 50 for him. What are your thoughts on the opening pair for CSK?
Yash, with the opening pair, they've altered the length by stepping out. It's from the Brendan McCollum school of thought. Uh, you know, they've done a fantastic job, and Faf leading from the front, and Rituraj, playing as a
Gaikwad.
second fiddle. And
Yes.
Faf is in excellent form, and he's not thrown his wicket away at all. And he's continued his merry form. And Gaikwad has learnt off of him, and he also played some exquisite cover drives and a couple of good on drives. And the length that they're picking is excellent. They already are in
Yes.
position, and it's a difficult pitch to bat on. The first 6 7 overs were very good, but post that the ball was sticking onto the pitch, and the cutters also, which were bowled by Dan Christian and the other bowlers, were difficult to score runs off.
Yes. Till the 19th over, everything looked in control of the RCB, and then everything went downhill from there. But speaking of the RCB bowlers, do you think they did a good job as a unit? Barring the last over.
Virat Kohli did a good job by the rotation of the bowlers he did, and he never allowed the batsman to get used to a particular bowler.
Yeah.
Uh, and in the spinners that he had, he did not begin with the off spinner, the tall off spinner,
Washington Sundar.
Washington
Yeah.
Sundar. He didn't begin with him. So there's a different strategy that he had in mind. He came on to
Yeah.
bowl his first over in the 11th over, and also with Chahal, he was brought on again in the power plays. He's not in the best wicket taking form, but he bowled well. He got his
Yeah.
first wicket, his third wicket for this tournament. And apart from that, the bowlers, Dan Christian for me was the best. When Faf du Plessis just made his 50s when Christian was got on, and the off cutters he
Absolutely.
bowled was 110, 115, where they were sticking on the pitch, and the lateral movement didn't allow the batsman to play free. So 12 balls, 12 runs given in the middle was an excellent part on Virat Kohli's captaincy. But at the end, this is out of a captain's control. If someone hits 37 runs in an over, captain can't do
Yeah.
nothing.
You can't set fields for short like that. That's what they say. And speaking of Dan Christian, he bowled out of 12 balls, he must have bowled 8 of them as off cutters, and the variation was the quicker one. So it was something unlike
Yes,
what we see in a fast bowler, something what Dwayne Bravo does a lot, those slower ones. But now,
yes, yes.
speaking of the score, Paras, what are your thoughts? Is the score good enough? Because we were talking in the pre-match show that 180, 170 is a good total, but now they've got 10 runs, more. So what are your thoughts, Paras?
Looking at the scorecard right here, 191 is a very difficult score to chase. There is not going to be any due, so there's it's not going to be easy for Bangalore. There aren't going to be any changes. Now that the pitch has been played upon once, the second innings is always going to be difficult as it's a slow pitch. And
Yeah,
talking about Dan Christian, he's a T20 globetrotter. He's played cricket all across the planet, and also with the resilience that he has with the bat, he can also be an important part here for RCB. This match is going to go to the wire for sure, but we have to see what Chennai has in store given the changes that they've done in the spin department.
definitely. I was just coming to that. They
Yeah,
made this important change. The legend of T20 cricket, I must say, is Imran Tahir. He's come back
yes.
in the team and has provided that extra zip into the bowling. And playing at Wankhede, with Imran Tahir, you can't. Any pitch is good for him. The dimensions, the pitch doesn't matter when it's Imran Tahir. So, what are your thoughts on this legend?
No, Imran Tahir, he's a stump to stump bowler. He's got a fantastic googly, and he's the
Yes.
only cricketer in the world who right now is control the flipper. So,
Yeah.
where you snap your finger and the ball goes on straight. So, these three variations are enough for him to make a dent in the opposition. And, the way Dhoni is going to use him is also going to be very important. And he's got a good record against RCB in the past. Yeah.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts on the opening pair? Because they are a great batting unit, the RCB, and Devdutt Padikkal is in some form. Paras, he got 100 at this very ground in the last game, and they won the match by 10 wickets. So they will be having a lot of confidence on their end. But what do you have to say? How would their approach be, being Virat Kohli and Devdutt Padikkal?
Calculated risks have to be taken by RCB.
Yeah,
And we talk about a Padikkal. He's one of those cricketers whom the whole nation seems to be backing. He's got that college boy look, and he's done a good job when it comes to assessing the pitch and applying himself. Although he
yeah,
did misfield once today, a easy stop, which went for a four.
boundary.
But given his batting performances, even a Brian Lara is very, very impressed by him. So
Yes,
there's a very big buzz surrounding this player, and so does Kohli back him. And when it comes to the middle order for RCB, we've got AB de Villiers. So if at all there's a scenario where 70 runs required of 30 balls, he can
yeah.
turn the match on its head. So you cannot count RCB out.
And we cannot forget Glenn Maxwell as well.
Oh yes.
Is he a right-handed batsman or a left-handed batsman? I fail to understand with the shots that he plays. He usually bats and hits those switch hits as well. He is an amazing cricketer, one of the best T20 players currently in the world. And if he is in form, he is destructive and he can take the opposition out of the game within 2 overs. So
Oh yes.
yeah,
What we saw from Jadeja is what we regularly see from a Maxwell.
from Maxwell, yes, well
Yes,
said, sir.
so when we talk about Maxwell, the form that he is in right now, and we term him as a homeboy now because he's married to an Indian, and
Yeah,
we also back him with regards to him playing international cricket. He's a very important aspect of the T20 cricket. Wherever he's played, whenever he's played, he's done well, or at least he stopped runs in the field if he's not had a good day with the
yeah,
bat.
yeah.
With RCB, the importance that is given to him and the time he's taking at the beginning of his innings to settle in is what is making the difference. Otherwise, he would get out before 10 balls.
Definitely, that's a good point you made there, Paras. But completely a different game plan for CSK today because they have got the runs in the bag, and more importantly, they will take some learnings from their last match. That Pat Cummins and Andre Russell took them out of the game in the
Yes,
middle overs. So that will be
yes.
the most important phase of the game. Because Deepak Chahar, they've got some good bowlers here. Deepak Chahar, Sam Curran, Shardul Thakur, Jadeja as well. So what are your thoughts on this unit and what would be their game plan today, Paras?
Chennai has a total of seven bowlers, seven specialized bowlers in today's match.
Yeah,
Out
yes,
of which, if we only think about four having a good day and three having an off day, that's a win-win for Dhoni.
yeah,
So bringing in Tahir, I know it's his first match, but he's an experienced campaigner. And then there's Sam Curran, who's doing well with the cutters and the in swingers with the new ball.
Yeah,
Talking about Deepak Chahar, he's also in good wicket taking form.
fantastic.
Anyone who swings the ball both ways is always a problem for the opposition. You cannot meditate and think what are you going to play before the ball's delivered until you got a dead eye. So Chennai's got this in the bag. They need to restrict RCB anywhere in between before 150, and then I'm sure they're good to go.
So the power play you're trying to say is going to be very important because the runs,
Yeah.
it's a big total. So their game plan should be to go from the first ball, or should they be very calculated, as you said earlier?
Calculated, Yash. They need to target who's the weakest link in RCB.
Yeah,
In
Chennai.
CSK. Yes,
Yeah,
when we talk about Bravo, they can go after him, given that he bowls full and the bouncers that he has have got no pace. They can also go after the Tahir, because it's his
yeah,
first match, and the batting lineup for RCB has become a mainstay. There are not many
yes,
changes. Even the match practice makes a count, irrespective of how many matches you've played in recent times. They need to target which bowler, and this ground has also got a fast outfield. If you hit it in the
yeah.
gap, it's going to go for a four. Also, the outside edges do go for a four, and there are runs which are going to be scored today in the second innings as well. But we need to see a masterclass from one or the other to restrict RCB before 191.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And now a very important question for you, Paras. Do you think the bowlers should use a lot of cutters because the pitch is, as you said, the ball is sticking on the pitch? So you think
Uh-huh.
the change of pace would be a good option here?
Oh yes, the bowlers have learned this throughout the IPL that every pitch that they've played upon is gradually slowed down. If
Yes.
you are constant with your straight up balls, even if you're bowling 140 plus, you will be taken apart. Or even if you have a good day, you won't be getting wickets until the batsman plays a rash shot. Talking about RCB, 4 out of 4. So the mindset that they have is quite positive, and you need to be very clever with regards to what changes you're doing, and
Yeah.
this can also go the other way around. If you think too much and you try too much, you leak runs. So you need to be very decisive with what your plan is.
RCB 4 out of 4, but no one can compare what you have achieved on this show. 7 out of 7, if I'm not wrong.
Oh,
So
yes.
one last question: who do you predict is going to be the winner today? Because Avankhede is known to be a batting paradise, but you are known to be an absolutely precise expert. So tell me, give me your expertise. Who's going to win this game today, Paras?
RCB will get bowled out before 160 runs.
Wow, that's really impressive. You're just saying that RCB is going to get bowled out for 160. You are the Paul the Octopus that we never had. So thank you for being so accurate, Paras. I will see you
Most
tomorrow.
welcome, yes.
No, I'll see you in the
Absolutely.
mid-match show of the second game, Paras. Yeah,
Oh,
can't
yes.
let you go
Yes.
that easy. So thank you for all our viewers. The players are out there. I expect a cracker of a game. And thank you so much, Paras. Let's hope
Most
CSK
welcome,
wins.
yes. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.